Hello. Once again, another video. This one will be quick. Check it out, dude. That's not a very straight, can I show that? I don't know what that's called, but that's not very straight, but I'm doing it offhand and I'm just trying to be straight. I kind of screwed it up this morning because it's been 2 different days and each day is a little bit different for me. Some days I'm better than others for sure. And like, I'm cracked out right now because, I don't know why I forgot. Okay, the reason I made this video has nothing to do with what I'm doing. It has everything to do with the way that I feel about things, because my brain doesn't work the same way. And I know that a lot of people are like afraid to hear stuff like this because that's just how America is now, right? Gosh dang it, I can't think of any words. All I can think of is words that don't make any sense. I'm just gonna say the words and it probably won't make sense, but I'm gonna say the words that come to my head. And that just is what it is. And it means what it does, what I want it to mean. And if you don't understand what it is, then I guess you can leave me a comment and I'll try to fix it. But here's the problem, okay? In America, best country in the world, right? Best country in the world. I've been to tons of them now because I thought I was gonna die. So I went all over the world and I forgot everything I learned, all right? Basically everything. But all I can remember is certain things. I barely remember anything about my past, about history, about anything, dude. It's kind of crazy. I'm gonna shut this off because it's loud. So here's the situation, okay? I have to relearn everything and I'm doing my best to do that, but I keep running into stupid things that I cannot believe that we as Americans have put up with and I have put up with my entire life. And this is why, all right? I'm gonna try to keep this real simple because I'm gonna make plenty of videos about this kind of stuff. I can't deal with it anymore. And here's the situation. I had a problem with my brain, all right? They cut it out. I still have brain cancer. I have class 3 brain cancer, which can only become class 4. I'm gonna have to do a lot of freaking crap that I don't wanna do, but it's just the reality of life because otherwise I die in 5 years, okay? So with that being said, I don't got time to beat around the bush and to worry about people's feelings because feelings don't matter. Do you know what matters? What makes life better for all of us as Americans? Do you also know what doesn't matter? Anybody that's not an American, okay? Become one if you want to be one. You know why people come here to America? Because it's the best country in the world. And my entire life, it's always been that way until we started hiring a bunch of dumb pussies to become the president of the United States, okay? We hired absolute mental retards. And guess what? I can say whatever I want to because I fall into that exact same category. Do you know we basically had a mentally retarded man who was our president for 4 years for no reason? What did that dumb schmuck do? Nothing. He sat in a room staring at a wall like I used to too when I had this in my head still and it was controlling me. Why did anybody vote for that guy? Absolute moron. Doesn't even matter. Do you know what? The first president that I can remember in my actual time, because there's been several that have been pretty good, I think, but the only one I can remember, Donald Trump. You know who I voted for? Donald Trump. I probably shouldn't say that, but you know why I did? Because I am so done with politicians and people that have been in charge their whole entire lives, okay? 40 years, 50 years, 60 years or whatever, until they basically have no term limits. They do whatever they want to do, and their only objective is to suck everything they can out of every person they can, make a bunch of money, and then die retarded. That's literally what they do. Why do we have people in any kind of power? We need to have term limits, 100%. We also should make sure that people are mentally competent if they're going to get put into office, and those people should work for us. And I think that that should be the #1 objective, working for us, because most of those people that get put in there are absolute liars. And all of you idiots that don't even see that, you're so stupid. You guys keep voting for the same dumb idiots that do the same dumb things, and then you keep them in office for 1,000 years. Guess what? They can barely talk. They can barely speak. They don't care about anybody under the age of 40. Why would they? Why would they? So if you're a young kid, if you're just turning 18, or if you're 50 years or younger, stop voting Democrat. Almost every one of them sucks butt. Do you know what they're trying to do? And to be honest, this will be a separate video. This will have to be separate videos because I just think differently now than anything. All right, I just think different. I don't think like you anymore. This is just the reality of life now, okay? Stop voting for idiots, all right? If you want the world to become a better place, vote for better people. Donald Trump's trying to fix that. There's plenty of other people trying to fix it. Are they perfect? Of course not. Is Donald Trump an absolute jackass and a jerk? Yeah. But guess what? He's actually getting something done. So if you're so much of a pussy that you can't handle somebody saying a bad word to you or telling you to frickin' pull up your panties, guess what? You're the pussy. Okay? It's not them. It's not they're the ones that are the fault. It's you. That's how simple it is, man. Go get some Depends and frickin' dummy up, bro. Man, and if you're a man, a real man, all right? A real man, not some pussy boy who's going to the frickin' club and drinking all the time and wasting your entire life because you're a stupid pussy. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about a real man, guys like me, guys that are out here working hard, anybody in any trade that's working their ass off every single day to make a living. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about now stupid pussies that are working for the government or have a cush job doing nothing. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not talking about you because you're probably not a real man. You're probably a stupid ass pussy. And you're probably voting Democrat because you're dumb as... Oh man, I stopped myself from saying a bad word. Okay, that's... maybe I'm 12 now. Yes, I just upgraded. I don't know if I can keep doing that, but... Dang, man. I have like almost no control, but I just had a little bit of control, so that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I forgot everything I was talking about. But come on, don't vote based on whether it's Democrat or Republican. Vote on whether or not they're freaking gonna do their job and they're working for you, because that's the only thing that should matter. And don't listen to what they tell you. Look at what they've done in the past, okay? If they're a politician that's done anything in the past, they're liars. That's all there is. Because when you look at them and they say, oh, I'll do exactly what you want. There's one reason they say that, because they know that you are dumb as hell and you will just vote for them because they are green or black. And that's not what I mean, but I think you understand. So stop it. Just stop, man. We need way smarter people that care about America first. If there is one person who is a government official that doesn't care about America, go to back to where you came from, or go to a place where you want to go. If you don't love America, you should not work for the government at any level, okay? Period. Go back to where you came from. Go to another country that you love so much. Why are you here? Why make everybody else live in a sucky environment because you're a piece of shit? That doesn't make any sense. Go back to wherever you came from, all right? Just do that. Make everything better, all right? We need a lot more people that can speak up and talk. Doesn't even matter if you're correct, because maybe you don't even understand what I'm saying, but America used to be a strong place. Go watch some old movies, okay? Pre probably 100s, before everybody became a bunch of pussies. Go watch our older people fighting battles so that we could have the rights we have today to protect all these stupid little pussies that want to be like, oh, let's join China. Oh, let's become the next North Korea. I'd like Kim Jong-un to be our new president. He's so much better than Trump. If you've ever had that thought in your life, you are absolutely way more retarded than me, okay? Plain up and simple. You're the dumbest person I think I've ever met. Well, no, because I've met really dumb people. You're probably not the dumbest people. You're just unintelligent. That's how simple that is, because you got a bunch of free government money to go to school and learn about gay gender studies and frickin' how to fold paper and stuff like that. Why? Man, that's another thing we shouldn't do. All those things. Listen, I'm going to keep this real simple because I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes. All right. I got multiple kids going to school, okay? One of them wants to become an engineer. That engineer needs to learn only about engineering, about all the things related to engineering. And if I was smarter, I would tell you exactly what I mean, but I can't. Only engineering, all right? Only engineering. If he has to take one stupid study that sucks away money from him because he's got to learn about women's studies and how retarded girls are of the 14th century and all this other bullshit, that's so dumb. You know what? If you want to take those studies, pay for it yourself. That's how it should work. And the government should only, my taxes should only pay for classes that actually are benefiting, one, America, two, the actual study you're trying to do. And I'm sorry to tell you, but if you want to be a freaking somebody that wants to just draw pictures or whatever, pay for that on your own dime. If it's not going to help America, because that's selfish on you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Totally fine. I have no problem with that. You want an artist. You want to become an artist? I got no problem with that. But that's selfish for you. You're trying to become an artist for you. Okay? That's it. Not to help America, not to make things better. I've seen plenty of sculptures all over the place, and they all look gay as hell. All right? And I don't even know what that means anymore because I don't even know what that means. So you can leave me a comment and tell me. But the way that I speak is the way that I speak, and I have nothing against whatever personal decisions you want to make. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I don't know. When I grew up, I used to call people gay, but not gay because maybe gay means something bad. I called people gay because I thought they were dumb. Okay, it's just like retarded. I called people retarded because I think they're stupid. Okay, that doesn't mean I thought they were like me and half their brain was missing, because now I fit into that category and I'm actually retarded, so I can say whatever the hell I want to. And if you don't like that, stop being a little bitch. That's all I can tell you. Okay, get some Depends, pull up your panties, become a man. Why am I only saying men? I know that women exist too, okay? So you could also be a strong woman, strong, independent woman who wants to do whatever that kind of stuff is. And I'm not at the level where I am smart enough to understand any of that yet. I don't even know the difference between a man or a woman or a color and a non-color. None of that exists for me, okay? So literally none of it exists. So I could say whatever I want to, and if you don't like it, that's your problem, because you're probably a stupid pussy. And guess what? If you don't like the way that I'm speaking, it'll probably change in a week as I get smarter. But right now, I'm basically a little baby, and I'm 12 years old, and I speak just like everyone else does when they're that age. And if you can't handle it, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Quit being a baby, because that's what you're being, is a little baby. And vote better. For the love of God and America, vote better. And if you don't like America and you don't want to be here, go to that country that you think is so much better. You're going to learn real quick that America is the best country in the world. One of the things I remember from traveling all over, and I went to tons and tons and tons of places because I thought I was going to die. I literally spent almost every last dollar I had traveling, but I had to live in a car. Like I was what are those things called that live in cars? I don't know, but I think you probably understand. Bum. I was like a bum, bro. So I know all about it. And no, I can't say any of that stuff. That'll have to be another video. I've had a hard life. I've been through some hard stuff. And I'll talk more about that, because I think people need to understand that what the power that you have is in your hands. All right? Stop giving it away. The problem that you have is that you give it away to everybody else. You give it to the government. You give it to teachers. You give it to your church. You give it away to every other person, every other place, and you don't take your own power. That's the problem. And I'm not saying that none of that stuff is like good or bad. I'm just saying that you have to make sure that you're doing what everybody else does, because if all those other people are taking care of themselves, and you're the one that's always not taking care of yourself, and it's hurting you, and it's hurting your family, and it's hurting other people, all because you're too scared to freaking dummy up and be a man and be a woman and be strong and tell people no. Do you understand that? Tell people no. This is why we've gotten to this place in America where we're ruled basically by a bunch of dumb idiots. You know why? Because we don't tell people no, and we don't vote better because we're so scared. We want to keep voting like idiots because we have our whole lives. Read a book. Okay, I'm telling you right now, read a book, read about stuff, and look at what they've done in the past. And if somebody tells you they're going to act a certain way, but what they've done in the past was different, especially if they've already been in office for 5,000 years and they've done the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, that is a big, huge liar. We don't need any more of those people. We need term limits, and we need to make sure that we're not hiring a bunch of old fogies to make rules for young people like us who want to live a great life, and I don't want government getting in my way. And one of the biggest ways to do that is do what every other country that's surviving really well has done, the tiniest possible government. That's the way it should be. The smallest possible government with the least amount of power. That's what I'm talking about, bro. The least amount of power. That is what should be happening. They don't need all this stupid power. We need a massive military that can help protect ourselves, lots of technology. We should be developing the best possible schooling systems, the best possible medical care, and the best possible economy. And then we can use that power and we can help people. That's the way to do it. Not to be a stupid little pussy and not do those things and then be like, oh, we can't help you. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, by the way, now we're part of China. Come on, dude. And the last thought I'm going to have on this one is, how the hell in 20, whatever year this is, do we allow things like North Korea and any other place that's oppressing their people? If that's not what those people want, which obviously they don't because they want freedoms, if we're allowing that to happen, there's only one reason. That's called corruption. And do you know who those people are right now? Motherfucking Democrats. All right? Stop voting for those little fags. They're the ones with the problems. You know who it isn't? Not Christians, not Muslims, not other religions. Those are not the problem. That's just not black and white. Black and white, what does that mean? I don't know what this means, but there's a thought that came to my head about this kind of stuff. All those people that are trying to divide us and saying anything bad between me and anyone else that looks like me or different from me or different religions, those are the evil people, period. Those are the bad people, period. Okay? And if you can't understand that, you are so stupid. And you're letting them take advantage of you and beat you. And you're basically bending over and they're just having their way with you and you got your mouth open and you're enjoying it. Okay? That's dumb. Stop being stupid. Okay? Because that's all it is. All right? If you're defending those people, you're dumb. Plain and simple dumb. And if you're part of a religion, any religion, and you have a book like the Bible, I read the Old Testament and the New Testament before I had this surgery because I felt like I grew up Christian and I needed to know what that meant. And I doubt that anybody in America is actually, well, not many people. And I think that the reality is that most American Christians are fakers. You know how many of them are going to go to heaven? And the only reason they even go to church is because they want to go to heaven and all of their music is about going to heaven and all this other crap. You know how many of those people are probably going to go to heaven? Maybe 2. You know how funny that is? Because they don't follow the word. They don't look at the book. They don't do what it says. They're Christians by name. That means nothing. And they don't vote right because they say they're a Christian. My man, if you think you're a Christian, read the Bible. And if you're not doing what God says, then you're not a Christian and you're voting for evilness. You're literally serving the devil, which is the opposite of what you should be doing, right? And I met tons of Muslims when I went overseas. Almost all of them were pretty cool, but I definitely met some that I would say fall into the category where they're also evil because all they care about is all the bullshit controlling people. And I hate that stuff. Okay. If all you want to do is control everybody else, you're not any different than the devil. Okay. Because what it says in the Bible is not the same thing as what you want it to say. Have a great day.